of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
But the prophecies about today has been in there. We've already put them in newsletters and what have you over the years. But this thing about the moon being marked twain, being marked as two, you know, they about like what they got with Dixie Alley, Hurricane Alley, they said that's destroyed. It's not even there no more now. You got tornadoes running up here north, up into New York, in New Jersey. All up here now, that things we didn't have. You got to get prepared for them. You got to get prepared for the tornadoes and the trees falling, the land falling, the bridge falling. You got to get prepared for all those things because everything is being pushed to a different direction than what has been pushed in by the natural elements, by the wind. You understand? I mean, you got to break it down to what's logical, what's reasonable. You know, stop being so spooky talking about people like myself is spooky. Listen to the scientists. Turn your TVs on to the History Channel and turn your TVs on to the Science Channels and Discovery Channels. Turn your TVs. Get away from all that foolishness you be doing. You be going to the masjids and the temples and the churches and praying to the Lord, your Lord, whoever that Lord is, and then coming home turning on BET and getting down all this craziness and what have you. Man, turn to what the jinn is looking at, what the jinn don't want you to see. Turn to those stations, man, on your television and try to get educated about what's going on right now. Try to understand why in Ohio, or rather in Iowa and Montana and all those places up there, why the water is coming down as it is and why they're going to be drowned out. You understand? So it's so many things that you need to understand because pretty soon the stores, man, the trucks going to stop coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and your gardens, you know, where you raise your food at, in your gardens that you call Pathmark and Shop Right and Stop and Shop and the Food Mart.
Run out.
The soil in there ain't gonna produce no more. In a minute, you know, you better look at all these stores closing, man, all these big time stores closing quietly.
Yeah.
Quietly. If you don't own a car, get a car, rent a car. Beg somebody to take you out to the mall and look at all the great stores closing down. You got some faking like they're remodeling and everything,
Yeah,
and they're not bringing anything new in. You know, their shelves is getting empty, and they stretching material goods out to make it look like they got something, and it ain't happening. Huh? And this is and I went down to Virginia and D.C. and Maryland. And Delaware and Pennsylvania and Philly, and I seen this happening all through those areas, coming back up to New Jersey and all these different stores, man. You know, and I'm gonna tell you something. The jinn and their people who they try to get these messages to, Caucasians, they buying food. They stocking their houses with food, canned goods. You better start doing it.
Yeah.
You better start doing it. They're concerned about water out in California. They're going to be concerned about water here because they have polluted the land, the air, and the seas. You know, and let me tell you something. I don't care what scientific proof they put on it, what scientific explanation they put on it. It is a law. It all boils down to a law and Allah's prophecy coming through. Coming as true. And you laughed at Elijah. I tell you, man, I don't want to get on no alien shit, but if push come to shove, one come down, I'll be like, a bleep bleep, a bleep bleep bleep, a bleep bleep bleep. I'll be right up on it because things is really that bad, you know? Things is really that bad. And this last thing I'm going to say, you know, and let you get going, because I know sometimes people probably get tired of hearing me talk. Well, you don't, but
they
know,
do.
Some of them might do. They like that brother talk. He just talk too much. But I know I apologize to some of you who think I talk too much, because I know my words are so heavy they be bending your ear, hurting you and stuff. and you know, and sometimes it might take you a couple of years before you can understand some of the things that I may put out there, you know, maybe even to see it. But the thing about it is that we're hurting here.
Yeah.
You know, we're hurting here very bad, and I'd hate to see you wait until people start trying to come into your house
Really?
to eat
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
To take over your refrigerator and start biting on you, because things is getting bad, and they may get to be that bad. You know, they doing a thing with the gun laws and what have you. And let me tell you something, brothers. You brothers who shoot sideways, think you got something going. I've been in the state police. I've been in the military, and I've been in the hood. I've been in the hood before all that. And I know what all that stuff is. When I was in the hood, I thought I could shoot. I couldn't shoot. When I went to the military, I found that I couldn't shoot. When I went to the state police, I really found that I couldn't shoot. You know, and I was doing good. Who could shoot? Them white boys.
Yeah, that's true.
Them white boys whose parents been taking them to the boys' camps, the boys' clubs, so-called survival camps, all their lives. They pick up a rifle and they hit you from 60 yards right in the middle of your eyes, buddy. You know, you think you can shoot and you think you gonna take over somewhere. When push comes to shove, yeah, you who scared of them Caucasians, you better be scared of them, because you go up into their communities trying to do something, take something from them, they're gonna hit you right in the eyes and pull you out. You know, if you get some of them bungee guys, they're gonna pull you in and put you in the refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
Take care of your intruders and dinner.
And the same time, we got food, Mom.
You know.
And drag them in, yeah. But one of the things that, like the messenger was saying, is that a lot of times A.H.A.D manifests a lot of things through the use of humor. You know, and A.H.A.D have made him a master comedian, and I know people think with your pride and the like, but a lot counts the truth in humor. No, they ain't saying nothing. A.H.A.D make the most profound thing in the human fest, so it could be palatable for you to eat and take in. Him speaking here about what it sounded up. If you look at your television, as he said, and realize what's going on, go to your, like he said, your local supermarket and see what's actually being bought off the shelf. This for black people, because I know we used to party and BSing. You know, we want to have a good time on Friday, Saturday night, and not thinking for tomorrow. I see the animals, a lot of shows a sign with the animals. When they hit, they start storing up now. It's summertime for the squirrel, they start storing up the nuts because ants, they all do their thing.
And them oodles and noodles ain't gonna make it.
Oh, they ain't gonna make
it. You're gonna be pulling
Yes, sir.
shoestrings out of your sneakers that you don't tie
Taking them
up.
spaghetti.
You trying to make them spaghetti. Hey man, I'm serious. See, people don't know about real hunger.
No.
In America, you know, a lot of us don't know. We poor as hell, as they say, but we still eat.
Yeah.
Now, when you stop eating and little babies start looking like chickens to you, you get delirious. You want to bite some. You be out there trying to eat grass and leaves off the tree that you ain't supposed to be eating. Times is bad. And it may come to that. I'm telling you, you go out of your mind with hunger.
You laugh at the commercials, man, about the kids over in Ethiopia and Africa. They get over here, and many of them, once they come to America, they say, wait a minute, y'all are spoiled. Y'all take things for granted in your country. You know, they see a fat homeless person, they say, we don't have that in our country.
Right.
You know, but over here, we take things for granted, but a lot is manifesting the signs of the time that the economy is toiling it, and they will not tell you this because it's all about the control. Keep people in control.
Right.
Everything's going good, it's all's going well.
So perfect, a fat homeless person, such an illusion.
Yeah.
Just this person is an illusion to realize just how tough a situation he's in himself, because he's getting a chance to eat. And then there are those that don't see it. Lord, you were talking about how people don't see, you know, how they might not be able to. But I have to imagine, when you look at the change in the weather patterns, you look. I mean, I haven't been on Earth. I've been on Earth long enough now to actually recognize. Wait a minute. The seasons are turning around.
That's true.
I can imagine, can deny the seasons are turning around. I even we got a little 11. You want to do something funny? Even for you people that waste your time, you watch your sports. And I've been witnessing you watch your sports enthusiasts. The prophecy, a sign of the changing time. Boston Red Sox have won a World Series in over 100 years almost. 2 World Series. Chicago White Sox hasn't won one before Boston won a World Series. And now the Chicago Cubs just about ready to win a World Series. To me, I stopped watching sports after that. I'm like, okay, that's enough signs for me, you know. But it's all over. It's everywhere. It's showing us everything everywhere for those who are looking to see.
Yeah, people who deal with numbers know it.
Yeah.
People who deal with astrology know it. The scientists who deal with their telescopes and what have you, they know it, but they're not allowed to say it because the government will behead them for saying certain things, you know. The trees in my garden know it. You know what I'm saying? You see that tree right there that stands about, I guess that's about 200 feet.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess that brother said, he's going to say, where's the tree at? You know if they stand that tall. You know? That tree. That tree.
That's in the New York area.
In the New York area.
Between the 40th and 50th latitude.
Parallel.
Yeah.
That's right.
That tree was bent down towards this house. For the first time in my eyesight, in 13 years that I've been here. That tree, both of those pieces, those trunks that you see kind of spread out from that giant trunk.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand, well, I know it's all with A.H.A.D. But why they didn't break was that A.H.A.D didn't let them break because they were bent. Can you imagine what I'm talking about? They were bent towards the house.
I was here that day.
When I took my family to them, get off up the top floors and come on downstairs, you know. And but the thing about it is that through all these years, the wind has always been blowing this way.
Right. That's right.
And now all of a sudden it's going that way. You know, I see the sun don't come up here no more, comes up from over here. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a whole lot of little things, you know. See those flowers up there in that tree? Those flowers you see at the top?
Right.
Those flowers, they came months ago. Cherry blossoms and drops. What they doing up there now?
Yeah.
Tell me why they up there. You know, those are little signs for you right there about like the seasons being confused. You know, vegetation on Earth being confused. And vegetation is fighting against us. Microorganisms is fighting against us. Insects is fighting against us. Vegetation is fighting against us. The animals is turning against us. You understand? He's just turning his creatures and the 4 elements of the earth against man, humanity, against mankind, against the humankind. That's why people, you who walk around now all of a sudden, you itching more all the time from pollen, you got sinus congestions, you got all these new illnesses and stuff. It's a part of nature itself revolting against man. By A.H.A.D, Allah's command for them to do it. You know, the earth, the sea is polluted. You got poisons growing up in the sea where they got what they call dead zones now. Yeah. And if you dive into that sea, you can get the that disease that comes from eggs and chickens and all that.
Oh, salmonella.
Salmonella. You know, it's steadily growing in those areas. They got crabs and snails and octopus and all kinds of sea creatures dying in there, suffocating. And this is happening all around the earth. You know? And it's mainly coming out off the earth itself from the drainage system in the cities.
That's where it's coming from,
You know? And they're telling you now, don't even walk your dog. Make sure you get the poop up right away. Don't let it get near the streets, near the drainage system. You know? I mean, Earth is in bad shape, man, in every area that you know about. And listen, you're not going to escape it. You know? You're not going to escape it. I'm telling you, these are the days, this is the end of time. You know?
I was going to say, there's a movie out called The Happening.
Is that right? Yeah.
about plant life.
Right. One of those that guy who tried to play like he's spooky.
Shyamalan.
Yeah, M. Shyamalan. He tried to say he's a shaman in a sense, right? Yeah, about vegetation turning on you. Well, that's because they know that. Things that I said, things that I wrote in the Divine Book of Recitation that's down in the Library of Congress that they sneaking and peeling from, they put movies out with that information in it. You know? But they know they want to put it out before the people recognize where it's coming from in regards to me saying it. But that's no problem. The thing is that people need to know. Right. They need to know what's going on. They need to know that, he's angry, but how many people are dealing with it? Politicians are not dealing with it. Trying to act like everything is everything. The religious leaders are not dealing with it. They won't even talk about revelations now. You know, they got another Hellboy out. The first Hellboy talked about myself and Jihad.
Right.
I wonder if this is another one going, or if it's just jive to try to cover up and make me look like a fool. You know? Because, a lot of times they come back with something and then they just be jive,
Yeah.
But the thing about it is we are at war.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that used to show is that people don't realize much of what Allah give him. The message has been over here on 30 years, giving forth the Lord's message. But within the last 10 years of my being in his presence, that he put the A.H.A.D Divine book down, it's been in Congress since 10 years, since 99, going to 2009. But in that, even though they think they're doing a disservice, they still serving A.H.A.D's cause. They putting those messages out here, that the people know. See, they still serving Allah's cause. Whether they like it or not. And they don't really realize that, So again, I implore people that watch this program, think about it. Think about what's going on in your very community, your local world, as well as going into your greater world outside. Your Allah says what in the Quran? I will show you signs within yourself, and upon your horizon, let you know I'm your Lord. The shine is going on within your very being, within your whole inner world, the disease and everything and so on, up to your outer world, which the plants, animals, and so on. And Allah told us something that makes so much sense now, that Mr. Hammond made a statement to yesterday, is that Allah told Solomon, study the ant and become wise.
Right.
Look at the signs of when Allah manifests in the animal kingdom, the vegetarian kingdom, or see what's manifested. Like he said, the trees are not blossoming in their normal pattern, but they know Allah says his course, it's a law that is set forth for his creation, that they always follow. Since taking action, people want to downplay that. That 2 inches make a big deal now because it affects the very atmosphere, the trees and the garden, everything going on. They said, wait a minute, this ain't the time of the season. Even now, we're in this summertime. We got more summer weather during the spring than we have now. We got more spring weather now here in the summertime. I'm like, what do I do?
I'll tell you something else. Why don't you get him, Sajid? Get him and quiet him down. I noticed that there's no bees hardly up here now.
Yeah.
And they've been talking about it on different shows, about the bees are disappearing. And I usually have a bee problem up here, and I haven't had it yet this year. You know what I'm saying? And there's other things too, it's a consistent fallout about what's happening. But you talk about science, you talk about sport. Let me just give you another sign. This boy, what's that boy name that pissed on that girl?
R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah. My wife, she goes off when we go to these graduations, and every school is playing his music. Now the teachers, the educators, they know what this guy's done. Okay, so he pissed on the girl, so there's freaky, and they all freaky. Gayism is normal now, and accepted and what have you. Okay, so it ain't that bad now, right? That he did that. He shouldn't have showed it on his video or whatever they want to say. All right. But he called himself the Pied Piper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He called himself the Pied Piper, and then they turned around and put all his music in school for the children to look up to him as they graduated from elementary, middle school, junior high, and high school.
They played at their wedding.
And he is the leader. And you wonder why they made a big thing about him doing that to that girl and then let him go scot-free. When in any normal situation, they would not have done that. You know? That's another sign of the time.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, our children are being led astray, but you know, when you start calling for Jesus and other things other than the Lord, and then you worrying about the Crips and the Bloods and the Nietos and all them other gangs, those are curses that Allah has put on the people and humanity. You know? And they bring them back to, you know, your own killing you. You know, your own terrifying you. You know? Yeah, man. And it's
body turning onto itself, turning one body, turning onto itself.
Do me a favor, please, Jabba. If you don't act upon what I ask you, if you can, let me know.
So slowly society goes imploding on itself.
Yes.
You know, and like I said, we touched on it on the show a week ago. How definitely a fact that he's going to go into this martial law thing is FBI passing this bill going.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for 15 years or more, 20 years, 30 years. I've been talking about it for a long time. You know, they're going into communism. They can call it democracy, they can call it whatever they want to call it, but they're going into the state of communism where you won't be able to blow your nose without them knowing about it and without their permission.
But at the same time, it'll be a capitalism. Those most elite of the gen will be capitalizing.
But they can call it what they want to call it, man. If I smack you in the face and say I just tapped you, I'm calling the tap. You can call it a smack. You can call it a clobber. But it's still the same thing. You know?
So it's the perception. Back to the perception. Hold it going out.
And see, they had jumped ahead of themselves in Jersey, in the Newark area a couple of years ago, when in Essex County, Essex and Union County and what have you, they started checking people on the buses. They showed the sign. They start checking your ID on the buses and giving you cards where you couldn't go past certain lines without having these cards, these zones on the buses, man. And then somebody said, wait a minute, too fast, too fast. They pulled them back.
They were doing bus checks. I know I was getting.
They pulled them back. Eventually, they gonna go there.
Checking the bus card.
Yes, that's zone stop.
It's more than that. Throwing you off the bus too.
Right.
If you ain't had a zone,
they had the money.
passes.
They throwing you off, man.
And the thing about it, they gave the bus drivers so much power, man. They gave uneducated people a lot of power.
Indeed.
Unintelligent people who ain't prepared for that. And you see the attitudes they have, man. It's just like them giving the crossing guards that power they gave them about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and all of a sudden they think they cops out there. And they didn't calm down since then, but they was going wild at one time. You take people who are not educated and you give them these lowly jobs, and then you tell them that they got these police powers. And these people aren't even trained to direct traffic, man. They was causing accidents and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to belittle people, but you know, you're talking about an education for a certain group of people that you're going to give a certain authority to. Come on. You can't just put a badge on this man's chest and say, okay, you a cop now. You know, what do he know about police work? You know? Be out here running around talking about, I'm bad, you know it, I'm bad. You come to singing policeman. It's that boy thinking Michael Jackson.
That would be intentional though, just like intentional chaos, we're just gonna make, we just gonna do what we wanna do and just get the people.
And they doing their thing, man. But the people ain't saying a word. You got the people watching all this stuff going on and they ain't saying a word. And I'm gonna tell you something, you talk about Republican and Democrat, it don't matter. They all together. They always been together. But as time goes on, you're going to see it more and more that they all one people at the top.
Didn't you mention that to me?
They all one people, man. They just playing the game, divide and conquer. You get on this side, I get on that side. We let some get on that side and on that side, and we confuse all the people, and we stay at the top. We make the laws that they hire us to make, and we rule them. They hire us to rule them. So we the masters over them, and they paying us to be the masters over them. Let's keep the fear factor going on
That's
too.
what it
Okay,
is.
Russia, we know we didn't use Russia up. We can't use Russia no more. Who we gonna use now? Let me see. Let's get them damn oil sucking Arabs.
Yeah, that's the new
Let's
enemy.
get them because we need that fuel. So let's use
That's it.
them as our enemy now. You know, and terrorize people. Wait, they want to blow up the World Trade. Well, we got to blow up the World Trade Center. Blow the damn
There
World
you go.
Trade Center up. And you know,
There you go.
we sacrifice a few thousand for the million.
Greater good, back.
You know, and then blame Bin Laden and then go after Saddam.
That was the
You know.
that was the greatest magician trick I still see to this day. And every time things start getting wool pull over people's eyes, you find a new tape. All these new tape pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I know he at now. Why not go get
Here's
him?
the trick, man. Here's
Hey,
the whole
funny.
trick. You beat me down. You killed my family.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna rush and get your family out of harm's way.
Right.
And then say, okay, let's get them, y'all. That's
what
literally
happened.
what the United States
They
did.
did.
Get Bin Laden's family out of the United
country.
States and then say, okay, let's find Bin Laden. You wanted Bin Laden? Keep his family.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
That's right.
Keep his family. No, they got his family out because it wasn't Bin Laden that blew up that World Trade Center.
That's it.
You know?
I know people.
Bin Laden ain't had 4,000 people at work that didn't come to work that day. Bin Laden ain't called from Egypt and Mecca and Israel and said, don't go to the World Trade Center today
That's right.
and get your children out of there.
That's right.
Don't even let them go to the kiddie baby
what's it?
nursery or whatever, daycare center. Get them out of there. That wasn't Bin Laden. That was somebody else.
But our people like sheep. We went for the hook, line, and sinker. Now we being real dense.
By a real African,
Yeah.
Caucasian American.
Who is the news thing is proposing possibly having a Republican as a resume, a guy named Heigl, a senator named Heigl.
Ain't that
He's a
deep?
Democrat, right?
Yeah, he's a
No,
Obama.
Obama's a Democrat.
Supposedly.
Heigl is supposed to be a maverick Republican. He's his own kind of guy. He's thinking about quitting the Senate. I like his
Yeah.
name is Heigl. Yeah. He's taking a trip to Iraq. The man traveled to Iraq. You know, so.
I just said it don't matter. But you know, they caught Jesse Jackson and they want to make
Oh,
a
yeah.
big
Poor
deal.
Jesse.
Poor Jesse. They want to beat Jesse down, boy. Jesse like, world, they didn't use me, and now they want to abuse me. And they don't want to let me work no more. They let everybody know the devil was my friend.
Money lay, I told you. Money's laying, man.
That wasn't right.
You know, but he made that statement about this guy talking down to black
Black
people.
people, yeah.
Of course he talking down to black people, but Jesse, you talked up to black people and you confused them.
Rainbow Coalition.
There you
somebody
go.
said.
I mean, it was all black, 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 then all of a sudden it's a rainbow. What happened? You know what I'm saying? I hate to see what's going to happen to him when he pass on and Martin catch up with him.
It's just it. Just it. Let me talk to you for a minute, Jesse.
Let me grab hold of you before you go to hell.
Yeah, you know. But
Yeah.
that's where they're going with it, though. They're checking out people, man. Giving us, again, picking our leaders.
1 minute.
This is what's going on. Picking our leaders. This is the man you follow. And then our people so foolish, they'll fight against their own if you don't go for this man.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
They don't, my question is just like my wife. Why do he have to be a black man? If his mother's Caucasian and his father's African, why he has to be a black? Why he got to be a Negro or African American? Why? He got to be one of us. Why he can't be a Caucasian?
Right.
His DNA might be 51 or 59% Caucasian. When he talk, he sound Caucasian. His outlook is Caucasian. His spirit is Caucasian. His wife seemed to be Caucasian. His mama was Caucasian. He hang out with Caucasians. The Caucasians seem to be more happy about him than the black folks.
Sure did.
Why can't he be Caucasian? just because he got a black face. Come on.
This has been an I-Have moment. If you want to continue watching this, you can reach it by correspondence by Post Office Box 8795, North New Jersey 0703, or
Who
by
of you
internet
want
at
to
Third
do
House
things right?
A.H.A.D.
To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you